Good day, Minot sports fans. From the KMSU studios inside Hartnett Hall at Minot State University, you have found yourselves in another installment of the Minot Sports Podcast. As always, the podcast is brought to you by KMSU TV and Radio. We are always thankful for them allowing us to use their studios to record daily. Welcome to episode 12 of the podcast, and we got a good one for you guys at this time, as we have a guest on the show today. He currently hails from the University of Tampa in Tampa, Florida. This guy is a member of the Tampa Spartans men's soccer team, and he's also an alumni of Minot High Magi Soccer. You may have heard of his name before, but joining us now is Noah Schmidt. And Noah, how's everything going for you at this time? How's the navigation through the challenging times of COVID currently?
It's pretty good. I'm loving Tampa right now. It's a little different than the past couple of years since I've lived in Florida, but I'm getting by and still getting better every day as much as I can.
Yeah, and tell us about life in Tampa. What is the environment like on campus, and also living in the city, kind of, experiencing firsthand of what Tampa's like?
Well, Florida opened up pretty early compared to the rest of the country, but the campus is pretty cool. I love all the people there. The team's fun. We have to be pretty careful with our coach because he wants us staying in, so we can't go out that much. So we usually just try and practice and then just stick with the team. That's about it. But hopefully, upcoming months we can start going out to Tampa and explore the city a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm sure that there are a lot of rules in place for a lot of
Mm-hmm.
clubs around the country. I'm sure that that's also in place for the women's soccer team here at Minot State. But obviously, soccer is what you're pursuing currently. But kind of tell us, what else are you taking up at this time? What studies are you currently working on in the classroom?
I'm majoring in entrepreneurship right now. That was a major reason I came to Tampa. Their business programs, uh, really good. So that was my major attraction when I came on my visit last year.
Yeah, awesome. So, kind of, what are you kind of learning in entrepreneurship? I know it's kind of, yeah, you said entrepreneurship, right? Business,
Yeah.
that sort of deal. Kind of tell us, what are you learning in there right now? I know it's kind of maybe a little easy for some people to understand, but
Mhm.
just tell us, what's that learning like right now?
I'm just learning the basics pretty much. It's just getting the freshman class out of the way right now. My athletic academic advisor helped me out, so it's pretty much just like the easy classes while we're online. But the next couple of years, I should be learning a lot more. Right now, we're just learning about global business and stuff like that. So nothing too intense quite yet. They're waiting to let me get used to the team when we have the virus going on. So pretty thankful for that. I get to learn a lot more. I'm used to it again. So
Yeah, certainly,
yeah.
for sure. And just tell us, what were those beginning stages like? Did you have any college orientation or anything like that? Just tell us, what was that
Um,
process like?
a lot of it was online. They kind of did it differently for everybody. The team, we kind of did all our stuff together, and then practices is kind of just like the first few weeks it was kind of empty because half our team's still not even in the country right now. So it's just all the Americans pretty much, and then so we just stuck together and just went at it through there.
So you guys is that still the case? Do you guys still have the American players there, or have some more from out of the country been able to trickle in? Is that the case right
Uh,
now?
yeah, no, it's still mostly just Americans. A couple of kids from South America made it in, but a majority, like about half our team, is still in Europe right now.
Yeah,
Hopefully next semester they can come back.
that's got to be nice to kind of be able to witness being teammates with some other cultures, and how
Hmm.
cool is that? Or you'll be able to experience that fully kind of soon. But how do you think that will be?
I did that a lot last year too, last 2 years. So that's probably one of my favorite parts while playing soccer down here is just the diversity. It's fun to learn about other countries. So I really enjoyed that part. But yeah, it'd be cool to see how it is in college.
Can't go wrong there. And let's talk
Mhm.
about Minot High a little bit. What would you say were some of your best moments or highlights while at Minot High before moving over to IMG?
You mean like best personal game highlights or
Just
just best
anything,
memories?
memories, favorite game you played in, maybe any sweet goals, or
Um,
yeah,
let's
kind of like
see.
that.
I'd say for soccer, probably my junior year at WDA, the hat trick against Legacy. That was my first high school hat trick, so that was pretty fun. And then probably my sophomore year, the goal against Century. That was probably one of my more memorable goals. And then for football, the onside kick against Legacy, that was probably one of the coolest moments I've had. Dude, that was a pretty fun one.
Yeah, certainly. I'm sure you've had lots of amazing events happen at Minot High, certainly for the time that you spent there. And talking about Magi Soccer, although lost to an undefeated West Fargo Cheyenne in round 1 of the state tourney, they had some impressive games this past season against tough customers in the West region to get to that point. Given how strong the program has been for a while, how close do you think they are to contending for that state title if they aren't there yet?
I think they got a lot of future talent coming in. I know Braden Oswalt really well, and his family, so I think he's going to be a good leader for them. So I think it's coming pretty soon. I'm hoping so. I've been watching them ever since I left, so I'm still rooting for them every season. So hopefully they make it soon. Try to make it back if they do make it to the state championship.
Yeah, that's awesome to see some alumni cheering for their past teams, and that's certainly you're doing awesome right there. And does that pretty much fall on how committed the city is to promoting soccer to the youth and how active the soccer association is?
Yeah, I think that probably plays the biggest role in it there. I know when I moved down here, the city was pretty supportive of our program, so it was fun playing for them and try and win the city some big titles as a school. So yeah, that's probably my favorite part about it when you have the city support.
Do you have any memories or any times that you played for like any of the city clubs at all? Do you want to maybe tell us a little bit?
For Minot?
Yeah, for Minot.
Pretty my whole life I played for Minot clubs, so I guess just every single tournament I had, just wearing the Minot jersey felt special to me. So I really love that. I would do anything to go live those years again, but they really helped me prepare for this level.
When was the earliest that you started? Do you know?
Oh man, I think I was about 4 or 5 years old.
Lots of years there, lots of development, certainly lots of learning there. But yeah, starting again, it just goes back to that how active Minot Soccer Association is, and then again promoting, reaching out to that youth. But what do you think? Not just the boys, but also the Majettes soccer team. What do they kind of have to do in your eyes to stay successful, keep the program strong in hopes that there will be some state titles in the future?
I just think I just need to get a plan in first of all. That was a major thing that helped with the school I went to recently. They just had a structure that we all followed, and we all had to buy into that. And I feel like once every single player buys in, I think they just need to get a structure going. And then once all the players buy in, I think all the titles will start coming in for them. That's every successful team I've seen. They've all got a one main goal in mind, and they all work for that together. So hopefully soon. I'm rooting for them, so
yeah,
it'll be interesting to watch.
We'll certainly be rooting for them here in the studios as well. I know we streamed Magicians and Mustangs game here, and seeing Walter Marco. I don't know if you saw it, but Walter Marco scored a penalty kick, and that got Minot High up at 1-0, and so that was kind of exciting to see. Unfortunately lost, but yeah, we're keeping tabs on them, and certainly teamwork makes the dream work, and like that said, buying in, certainly it helps for a lot of teams out there. And so how has Minot High gotten you ready for IMG and then IMG for Tampa? There are athletes everywhere that make the jump in their athletic careers with intentions of playing at a high level, and you were one of them. Kind of give us an inside look on how that process was for you.
They just really prepare me confidence-wise. They just taught me how to be a confident soccer player, I guess. I've always been used to scoring goals and being one of the main guys on the team, so that part really just helped me. So I came in there and knew what I was doing. I'd say it was the biggest part.
You started out at Minot High and then made the move to the IMG Academy in Florida after recognizing that you had something going for yourself with this skill set and potential. The opportunity was right there for the picking, and you took it and ran with it, and it looks to be paying off really well. When was kind of that moment, whether you thought of it yourself or a coach reached out to you and said, hey, you have some real talent for the next level, for that realization factor? When was kind of that moment for you in your soccer career and life in general where you thought, man, I could really take this further?
It was probably right after my junior season, or right in there, because I already considered leaving for a school in Arizona my sophomore year, but I wasn't too sure about that. And then I started playing football and soccer, so I was kind of debating which one I wanted to stick with. And then after my junior season, I did pretty well. And then I don't know if you guys know Jason Spain, the old Minot State coach. He really helped me out with IMG, so that's what kind of pushed me to go there. When after I talked with him and my weight athletic trainer, Jason Blackburn, they both really helped me out in the end.
And yeah, there's certainly connections bode well. And how did Arizona come to be by chance? Was that more on the Minot State coach again, or just tell us about that?
Yeah, I played for a lot of club teams that were not from Minot before I moved away, and there was always tournaments going on in Arizona, so I found out about them and then gave it a shot.
Awesome.
And I was pretty close to going there, but I changed my mind last second. I wanted to try football out too.
Yeah, and certainly with football, we saw you as a kicker. That's actually one of my questions coming up here, so we'll get to that in a moment. You also did kicking, but tell us about the first time experience seeing the IMG Academy and the University of Tampa for the first time. What can you say about these facilities, and what are some cool features that you are lucky to work with that maybe we aren't aware of? What are some things that you were able to have on hand that maybe some other athletes don't have?
At IMG, they pretty much have everything you could dream of. Facility-wise, they had all the next level stuff, so it's pretty much anything you could dream of. They had it. They have Gatorade facility there. They test Gatorade products on us there. That was pretty cool to see that. That made us feel pretty special as athletes, so I love that part. And then Tampa is it's almost the same thing as IMG, just not quite as serious because it's also a college too. But yeah, I think both places have beautiful facilities. Definitely top in the country.
Awesome, yeah, and Gatorade was that was kind of a Florida thing too with the Gators. Is that correct? So
yeah,
yeah, that is kind of close to home there for you, and certainly helps to have it on hand. But for the decision that you made, would you say it was an easy decision, or how was it knowing you had to consider family in the mix and adjusting to life outside of North Dakota, and how supportive have they been?
My family, if it weren't for them, I probably would not be able to do this. They were super supportive of me. But I remember the first time I went to IMG to check it out, I fell in love with it the second I got there, and my dad saw that too. So I think everyone in my family knew I was going to leave at some point. So they were really helpful with that part. It wasn't easy, but they made it pretty easy for me.
Have they been able? Have they been able to watch some of your games, whether it was online or?
At IMG, yeah, they got to see quite a few of them. Tampa, we haven't played any games yet, but yeah, they definitely were there for a lot of IMG games, which I was pretty thankful for that too.
And that will come soon, eventually, for the Tampa games.
Hopefully, we haven't heard anything quite yet.
Yeah, let's hope so. Fingers crossed. But how big is the difference in training going from the IMG for development and now in the college soccer environment? How big is that?
IMG really prepared me for college. I think it's just a little bit higher, if that, but I think I'm just fine when it comes to level of play. I know what I'm doing pretty well now, so it wasn't much of a change for me.
Did you have any sort of like pregame routine or like anything you did in practice that just was it all stayed the same, or was there some things different that you brought?
Obviously, the times change for practice, for daily practices. We practice at noon. At college is pretty intense because of the heat. It gets pretty hot at noon. So I'll say that's the hardest part about changing my everyday things. I'd usually wake up, get breakfast, and go to practice last year, and now it's a whole different schedule. I have classes in the morning. So I'd say that's the most different part for me.
Yeah, and you mentioned the temperature, the weather there. Talk about the adjustment, making it from North Dakota, where it is freezing cold up here, and going down to Florida, where it's now hot and humid. How was that? How were you able to adjust to that? I know it's kind of easier for warmer weather, but when it gets too hot, what's that like for you?
Yeah, my first summer here, it was miserable. I was sweating like crazy, but it took me about half a month probably to really get used to it. But by now I'm just fine. It's nothing too hard for me anymore. But yeah, I definitely enjoy the heat. I don't really miss the cold all that much. It's nice to see it every once in a while, but I like it where I'm at.
Oh yeah, and there are some things where it is easier for some people to adjust, even though it
Uh-huh.
might take some time. But um, talking about your game and what you bring to Tampa, how would you describe your game, and what do you think you can bring to this Tampa Spartans team?
Um, well, I've always been more of an attacking player, but I'm a defender right now for Tampa. I'm a left back, so I'm focusing more on assists this year more than when I was in high school. I was more of a goal scorer. They bring me left-footed left backs in the country, especially in college. So I think I've got a pretty big advantage coming into the season with that, and then hopefully I get a lot of assists, and hopefully make it to the next level after that.
Did the coaches of Tampa see anything in you? Um, were there like any offers from other colleges, or any coaches reach out to you saying, "Hey, we'd like to bring you in"? Um,
Um, yeah, I was really set on staying in Florida. I was talking to a school up in North Carolina, but I at the end I kind of knew I was going to Tampa because they were my first visit. I went on there, and I think the beginning of the year last year, and I fell in love with it right away. So I started getting pretty serious with them right away.
yeah, and the coaches, I would guess, certainly saw something in you in Tampa, saying,
Hmm.
"Yeah, we'd like to bring you in." Was that how was that experience
Yeah,
like interacting with them?
uh, they love my left foot, so that's nice to have someone appreciate it that much.
Hmm.
Yeah, they just really want someone that knows how to attack a defense. So not many players do that anymore, I guess you could say. But yeah, that's it. Pretty much just assisting. That's what people want now.
Awesome. So you certainly have some personal goals set there.
Hmm.
Um, kind of been impacted by COVID. How has your daily routine changed with that, and how has the Tampa Soccer program kept you guys active during this
Hmm.
time of quarantine and COVID? Everyone getting tested positive. Just talk to us about that a little bit.
If it wasn't for OPT, I probably wouldn't even be able to be playing soccer right now. That's where I trained. I trained there over the summer with Jason, so he really helped me out, stay in shape, and just keep my mindset going and back into another season. Cause that's a pretty long break. I never had a break from soccer that long in my life. So, yeah, that's about it. Really, that's the hardest part for me was just staying active and keeping my mindset.
And I guess I'll add on to that. How hard was it adjusting to when COVID just first started out? How hard was it
Uh,
adjusting to living at home and
it
just
was
grinding
pretty
through it?
different. Um, I was so used to just playing with a team every day, and because mine, I know there's a lot of the guys were off doing their own thing, so I didn't really know who to train with at the time. So I went with my own guys, my own trainer, and um, it was pretty hard. I was trying to find a good diet and uh, a good routine to stay active, but it's pretty hard when everyone's wanting you to stay healthy.
Yep, certainly brings upon its challenges. COVID does, and but we're just getting through it. And again, hoping that there will be some games in the future. And moving forward with that, tell us about expectations, not only for yourself, but how do you think Tampa Soccer will look once the team gets going? Hopefully, in a new season here soon.
We're hosting the national championship, so I think we've got a pretty good shot at making it. We have a good team this year, so
Oh,
hopefully
nice.
Be playing at home during the national championship. That's my main goal right now.
Is there a lot of buzz with that then around the city
Uh,
with that?
Around the team, yeah, right now. Well, there was a lot of buzz with the city until the season got canceled, so nobody really knows right now. But once it
That's
gets
fair,
closer
yeah.
to time, I think the city's really gonna be really supportive about that. They're usually pretty good about their sports teams, so it's gonna be fun to host that tournament.
Yeah, certainly, definitely should be fun. And
Mhm.
Going back to when you were kicking for Minot High football, soccer was, again, mostly your strong point, but you happened to be a dual sport athlete for Minot High at some point. Tell us about your experience being the kicker for the football team, and tell us, how did that come to be firsthand?
I just kicked footballs around with my friends. I was like, I think I could do this. So yeah, I started doing that. I went to a camp in Las Vegas during the summertime because I got an email about that from somebody, and I thought I had a future in it, so they told me to start playing. So I tried that out, and then my first two games, I was like, oh, I missed them. No, my first game, I missed the first two field goals pretty bad. So I was like, oh, God, I don't know if that's for me. But I went on to do pretty well, I feel like. But, yeah, really deciding if I should stick with football or continue playing soccer. That was probably one of the hardest parts about leaving, was having to quit one of the sports.
Oh, I bet, yeah. But you were able to make it work out with being a dual sport athlete at Minot High. And I know some kind of growing pains, trying to get into something new, adjusting to it. But you eventually made it work out. And being a part of that dual sport athlete spectrum, you obviously had several coaches among a few teams. What would you say is the best advice you received from either a coach or a teammate? And what advice would you have for others kind of moving up the ranks, moving forward?
Advice like from while being a dual sport, like how to do that, or what exactly were you asking there?
Just anything. What advice would you have for like any future Minot soccer players or kickers, I guess?
I would just say go out and play as much as you can. That's the main key. Just work on your craft as much as you can. Gotta get a huge database. You need that. A lot of connections is what really helped me out in the long run. But yeah, you need to know a lot of people in order to make it pretty far. And whoever can help you, take advantage as much as you can.
Oh yeah, for sure. Connections do help, like we mentioned earlier. And now talking about the professional sports world in Tampa Bay right now, I don't know if you were there while these were happening, but what's the hype looking like right now with the Lightning winning the Stanley Cup, the Rays appearing in the World Series, and then the Buccaneers having their success right now with Tom Brady and all those guys. First in the NFC South, they actually play tonight versus New Orleans at 7:20. Is there a buzz surrounding the city with their sports teams?
The city's going pretty crazy right now. They're definitely loving our sports. I'm here at a pretty good time. It's pretty cool to witness all these sports doing so well at once. But yeah, I'm loving it. It's really cool to see how much the city cares about their sports teams.
Which ones?
Makes you feel pretty special as an athlete.
Yeah, awesome. Was there anything else you wanted to mention there?
No, it's good.
Okay. Were you there in Tampa when they won the Stanley Cup, or when the Rays were in the World Series?
Yeah.
Were you there for any of those?
Yeah, my teammates were all watching the game in the dorm room, so it was pretty cool to see that. We all went crazy when they won it. But yeah, it was cool. Everyone had a big parade downtown on the boats, and I don't know if you had a chance to see the pictures of that, but they had a boat parade for the Stanley Cup, which was pretty fun to see that too.
Awesome. Yeah, I saw the photos on social media. It looked like it was a fun time down there in Tampa for you guys.
Yeah, it was cool to see that.
Yeah, awesome for you guys. And yeah, Noah, is there anything else you want to say to the listeners? Maybe you want to get out there? Anything special you're working on? Any projects or anything? Or just continuing to work on soccer? Is that mostly your routine?
Yeah, it's pretty much soccer right now. I'm hopefully trying to play for Tampa Bay Rowdies after college gets over with, and then hopefully see what happens after that. I'm just focusing one game at a time so far.
Would that be your future goal then, playing for what was that Tampa club you mentioned?
Tampa Bay Rowdies. They're the USL team here. It's right under MLS. So hopefully I go to them, and then MLS after that. We'll see what happens. That's the dream of mine.
So yeah, just future goals to get into professional level, MLS, or out in Europe?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Pretty much.
Well, Noah, thank you for making some time today to join the Minot Sports Podcast.
Thank you.
Hopefully all goes well down there in Tampa, not just for you, but also for the Spartans as well. And also, don't be afraid to let me know how, not just the soccer team, but how Tampa athletics go down there. And hopefully all goes well for you guys down there.
All right, sounds good. Thank you. I will.
Yeah, thank you, Noah. And that was
All right.
Noah Schmidt, Magi Soccer alum and current Tampa Spartan for men's soccer. Thanks always goes to Noah for joining the show today, and hopefully we see a lot of success again with the Spartans down there in Tampa. That is going to do it for this episode. Thank you guys for listening as always. The podcast, again, is brought to you by KMSU TV and Radio, where we are always thankful to be using their studios. Be sure also to check out MSU Inside Out, the weekly campus TV show being broadcasted every Thursday at 5 o'clock Central Time, talking about the latest in Minot State news, weather, and sports. And also check out KMSUradio.com for your live feed 24/7. You can hear live DJs and all sorts of wonderful alternative music here in the city of Minot. But once again, a big thanks to Noah Schmidt. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one, and have a good day.